Hello everybody and welcome back to another tutorial. Today I will show you something I'm pretty much using every single day, and it's how I edit impacts, just like this one.
This is Sparta!
So as you can tell, it's a really fun, quick, and impactful edit, which is the entire point of this. And you know, it's actually much easier than it looks. All the assets I'm using are available online, nothing I have created myself. And it's just a mix of using effects and the way I have filmed this. And I'm gonna walk you through exactly how I did this. We're gonna edit this little clip from start to end. And it starts with us jumping into Premiere Pro. And I will actually walk you through all the assets I have filmed in advance. So whenever I want to film like an impactful punch or an impactful kick, you know, I go about it in a very specific way. So the way I could film it is just, you know, me recording myself on a green screen first, right? And then me just kicking myself out of the screen like shown here. But I feel like something would just be missing. You know, if I just filmed myself straight up kicking myself out of the screen, I feel like, you know, the impact doesn't really sell. So let's actually go ahead and walk this whole, let me walk you through this whole little clip from the start. So it starts with me basically powering up right here. Let's grab this short sequence, drag it into our timeline right here. Let me actually make sure it's the correct size. Okay, perfect. So it's, whoopsie, that is not what I wanted to do. Alright, so it starts with me powering up right here. Then I look up, it should be right here, and that is when I say, "This is Sparta!" And then I actually start the kick, and that's what we like to call cut to action. So whenever I cut, I have a specific motivation behind it. I don't just randomly cut from here to here. As you can tell, my head is in the exact same position, so it's easy to follow. And I know that I want to do a kick. So what I do in the clip before is I actually start the kick right here. As you can tell, at the very end, I raise my arms and I start the kick. So that in the next clip, when I actually, and this is so funny. So obviously I'm filming by myself, and as you can tell, you know, there's the chair. You can see everything that is going on the sides. So when I actually just put the sweatshirt over a pillow that I have over there. And then this thing right here, that's my arm. That's not actually my foot. So I use my arm. I'm on the floor. I use my arm and I push my arm into the pillow. This is not actually my foot, but you know, because it's happening so quickly, you cannot actually tell what is happening. So like right there. Let me make sure it's correct right here. Boom. It's nice. Actually, we can go a little closer. Okay, good. That's good. Okay, that's perfect. And then actually we're gonna jump into After Effects to do the whole kicking animation right now. So in After Effects, let me change the composition settings to 1920 times 1080. And now let's drag these two clips into our After Effects composition project, I mean. So it's first me kicking, and then it's me being kicked. And you know, the entire thing of how I use green screens, I already made a tutorial about that. But in the end, it's actually super easy. So whenever I'm flying around or whatever, it's usually me in front of the green screen, or actually it's always me in front of the green screen. I don't get kicked around. I don't like being kicked around. But yeah, let's start with me performing the kick. So as you can tell, we ended on the foot being inside the chest, on the chest more or less. So when we do the kick, my foot already has to be on the chest, so it has to be up and then following through. So let me see. Okay, so here it's already up, and then I should be following through right there. So let's leave it here, and then we will drag the clip, the green screen clip on top. I'll just resize to 50. And as you can tell, I'm already like crouched down because I know when I'm filming, the foot is supposed to be in my chest. And that just goes down to being prepared, know what you want to film. I know that I want to film this exact sequence. Nothing is left to chance. So when I'm filming, I know the foot is already supposed to be here and he's just gonna push through. And let's remove the green screen. We do that by going to effects, keying, key light, and then we will select this drop pen tool, whatever it's called, click on the green, and then it's gone, and then we'll go to the pen tool right here. I'm sorry if this is really quick. I made a tutorial about that before, but in the end, this is just masking. So you go to the pen tool, you click and drag, and then you just draw, you know, a little mask around me right here. Make sure it doesn't have to be, no, exactly perfect, just close. That is fine. This here does not matter that much. Right, there we go. And then we're gonna drag me over here, like exactly there-ish. Let me make myself a little bigger. Like that. Okay, and then when I follow through, see, it's a little, it's too early. So I have to actually wait until I'm extending my foot like that. So let's pull this clip a little further, like that. So when I'm pushing through right there, I have to start flying. So let's keyframe the clip right here. You click on the little watch at position, and then I like to go 3 frames ahead. 1, 2, 3, and then I will pull myself out of the screen. You know, we're gonna zoom in later, but you know, just for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm gonna pull myself way out of the screen. And this might actually be too fast. Yeah, that's too fast. So let's do like 5 frames. Let's see what that looks like. Let's do 6. Okay, and you know, theoretically you could say we're done. You know, theoretically you could be happy with this. You know, he is flying out of the screen and this is in the end what we wanted to do. But in order for you to really sell the effect, I like to add lots of smokes and shock waves. And I get all of these effects. I don't do them myself. I get all of these effects off of Production Crate. It's called Footage Crate or Production Crate. I think it's both. And you have to sign up, and it's super cheap actually. It's just like $50 per year. I'm not being sponsored or anything, but they're just super useful and I'm using them every day. And then up here you can type in, for example, shockwave, right? And then they will give you so many different kinds of shock waves that are super, you know, advanced and spacey. I like to keep it simple. I mean, the only ones I'm using regularly is this shockwave burst, this air bubble right here, as you can tell. And then we have, I think, a Let me see, which one am I using too? I like this one as well. That's one we're using too, and the shockwave back. So those are the 3 ones we're gonna use today. So jumping back in here, I have all these effects over here. So let me drag all of them into the project. So right when I'm kicking, I want a shockwave burst to be right here when he's leaving off. Oops. When he's blasting off, more or less. So we're gonna drag this shockwave back effect, which is basically just, you know, a smoke. Yeah, the smoke wave, just smoke cloud just does that. So we will add this one to right at the feet, right here. And it should start right when I'm flying off. So right there. And you can tell it doesn't look very realistic, so we have to change the blending mode to screen. And because it's not that visible, it is visible, but not as visible as I would like it to be, I like to duplicate the layer. So you press Command D 2 times maybe, and that way it's much more visible. And now when I kick, it's already gonna start looking much better when I eventually kick. There you go, but still it's not that impactful. So I like to add more. The more the better, right? So the next thing I'm adding is a shock wave right here, so it just expands under the feet. And what I like to do with that is right when I'm kicking, I want this shock wave to basically, this bubble to burst. So like that. But let's make this a little smaller. That's a little too big. Let's keep it like that. Should be right under me. And then again, same thing, set it to screen, duplicate it a few times. Let's see what that looks like. When it starts playing, there you go. Good. And now the last thing I want to add is this little shockwave burst, which is in the end, you can barely see it right here. It's just like an air bubble. So I like to drag that on top, and then right when I'm kicking, I want this air bubble to expand around me. I think it's a little too big, so let me scale it down. Right there. I'll change the blending mode to add, so it's just a little more visible. You can see the ring down there. And drag it above me. And then duplicate it like however many times you want. I like to do 4, so it's really nice and visible right here. And if we play this now, boom, we have a nice shock wave. We have these clouds, these smokes right here, and it really sells the effect. So now, if we save this down to our little sequence right here, and we jump back into Premiere, we can double click right here on the empty field, and we go to Impact, we go to the After Effects composition, we double click, and then we will find our sequence right there. We will edit in, and if we select it, we will see, boom, there we go. So all we need to do now is add that little sequence to our clip, and we're almost done. So it starts with me powering up, looking, saying this is Sparta, kicking, boom, foot and chest, and then extending. Which I think it sells the effect so much more, rather than if I already started right here and kicked and left this foot clip out. Because what this foot clip does is it really lets the viewer know that I'm putting my foot into the chest and extending. While, you know, from afar, it doesn't look as, I guess, impressive. But, you know, because I'm adding all these details in there, it lets the viewer know exactly what is happening. And then for the final touch, I have this clip recorded right here. I think it was during an afternoon, and the moon was actually visible, and I thought that was so cool, and I just wanted to add that into my video as well. So we're gonna create a new comp. Let me delete all of this, and we're gonna add this little moon clip in there. So we have it right here. It's a little tiny, but let me move that here, increase the size. Still not that happy. And that's actually too big, I think. That looks nice, I think. And now what I like to add as well is this little cartoon spark. Already have it in here. So all it does, it actually looks like the Mercedes-Benz symbol, logo I mean. But yeah, I just like to drag that on top. It's just super simple, and it's really a really fun animation in my opinion. It gives you these Team Rocket vibes from Pokemon whenever they get yeeted to the stars. Let me see if this is fine. That looks so good, I think. Ding. Okay, I'm just noticing that the screen is moving, so let's actually freeze the frame to make sure it's not moving. Perfect. And that will be comp 2, so let's drag that in here as well. Right there. And we are done with all the visuals. So as you've seen before, it starts with me powering up. Then I say this is Sparta. I kick, boom, extend, he flies, and the moon. So we're done with all the visuals, but you know, of course, a very important part of all of this is sound design. Without sound design, this whole thing just doesn't look or doesn't feel as impactful. So the way I like to do my sounds, it's actually super simple. I downloaded these free, let me actually find it right here. So I got these off of YouTube, and it's just called Popular whoosh sounds effects for edits. It's completely free. You can just go to YouTube, and it gives you all these different sounds, right? And obviously you cannot hear that right now, but you know, I also like to add these into my clip. And I'm just gonna choose one of these and add it right when I kick and when I extend. So whenever there's an impact, I make sure there's actually an impact on the audio level as well. You know, it's not super noticeable, but it does make a difference in my opinion. And you know, of course, for the This is Sparta thing, I just pulled the audio from the 300 movie and played it over. So there you go. That's how I edit all my impacts. I make sure I add in, you know, a little detail as in the foot to sell the effect. And then, you know, when I'm actually extending, I also make sure, or when I'm actually kicking or punching, I always add in shock waves or shock bubbles to just make this thing seem much bigger than it actually is. You know, nothing much is happening. I'm not actually kicking someone, but because I'm adding all these smokes and mirrors and whatever, it looks a lot more impactful than it actually is. And in the end, that's what filmmaking is about. It's just about selling effects. And you know, you can spice it up with little fun animations such as these, just to let everybody know where this person's being yeeted to, which is the moon. So that actually concludes the tutorial for today. It's much less of a tutorial, more of showing you how I edit my impacts. I'm sure if you follow me on TikTok, you've seen me do these every day, more or less. I do lots of these videos where I'm yeeting somebody out of the screen. I'm either kicking somebody or punching somebody out of the screen, which is always a lot of fun. And that's how I do it. I just, I make sure to add in lots of different effects, lots of smokes and shock waves. And I always make sure that I show what is exactly happening. So this could also be my fist, digging into someone's chest. In this case, it's my foot. Well, actually it is my fist. I actually had my hand in my shoe when I was extending. But anyway, so that's how I do it. I hope this was interesting or helpful to you. I will do much more of, full editing walkthroughs in the future. But let me know down in the comments below what you would like to see me do next in my next tutorial. I love doing these. I hope these are helpful. And keep creating, keep being creative, and you will see me next week with a new tutorial. So I'll see you then.